Okay, this from Shannon in Albany. Working so hard to help Peter with his career. When did you start taking care of yourself? Sounds like you pretty much took care of yourself the whole time.
Well, I did. Yeah, I did. I took care of myself.
And Peter.
And I used to work. I mean, I had a regular job.
Right.
And I used to also, on the side, to make a little extra money, I learned how to make macrame, and macrame was a thing of tying knots. And we used to make necklaces.
Plant holders, necklaces, bracelets.
Yeah, and wall hangings, and sometimes bracelets and belts. And, and then I also, believe it or not, sold a little bit of Avon.
Yeah, well, cool. Yeah. Hey, whatever it takes, can-do kind of girl.
To pay the bills.
Exactly. And I'd say there were some slim times there. I remember in an interview, I think it was with Paul, somebody asked, what's it feel like to be rich and famous? He says, well, I can tell you what it's like to be famous. The money didn't come in real quick. Anywho, this in from Donnie. What was the first photo that you sold?
The first photo that I sold was of U2. U2 came to New York back in the 80s, the early 80s. It's in the book. The photo is in the book. It's at the Ritz in New York, and I believe it was either right before or the day before or the day of St. Patrick's Day, back in, I believe, 81. The date is in the book.
That would be a big day for you too.
I love it. It was a great show. I heard that this band was coming to America and that they were amazing, and thank God they're still around.
Yeah. All right. And once again, we want to mention that website. It's www.lydiacriss. That's LYDIACRISS.com. And the book is Sealed with a Kiss. And you have your option of the book. It's hardcore, hardbound card. It's a hardcover deluxe book, 368 pages, almost 5 pounds, and you can get the book, or you can get that personally autographed by Lydia. And let's see, let's go to Jason. How did you and Peter meet?
Peter and I met at a club. He was playing in a band called the Barracudas in 1966, and my girlfriend was going out with the bass player. And she said, you got to come to the band and come to the club and see this band. And I said, okay. And that particular weekend, it was a 4th of July weekend, she was away. And so I went with her cousin. And I went to the beach with her cousin in the daytime, and I got really burnt, and I didn't want to go out. I was really, I felt like I had a fever.
Right.
And she convinced me to go out. So I got dressed up, and then she goes, even if you stay for 1 hour. So I said, okay. I got dressed up and went, and then walked into the club with my red sunburnt face, and I was wearing a white dress, and I have dark hair.
Right.
Peter said he said he could see me a mile away. I stuck out like a sore thumb, and he said he fell in love with me the minute he saw me.
Wow. Well, that was the next question by Carrie. Was there an immediate attraction? Obviously, on Peter's part.
On Peter's part, there was. On mine, there was.
You're like, get out of here.
When I first met him, I didn't really like him because he was just a little
arrogant.
A little arrogant.
Machismo
personified. The following day, so we kind of got to know each other then, and Peter has a great personality. So even though it's arrogant at times, when he wants to be nice, he's really nice, and he's got this little something about him that makes you love him.
Yeah, as well as like two sides. There's the ticked off, and then
Peter's the first one to admit he's a schizophrenic.
he and the rest of the voices. James wants to know, and you may have answered it. Was Peter's temper bad at home?
Not always. No. Peter was generally a pretty easygoing guy. You just had to upset him.
He was human.
Yeah, I'm kind of like that also. I'm really, really, really nice, but then once I get
you have a breaking point.
One little thing will set me off, and I'm like a little monster.
Yeah.
So that's how Peter was. He basically was he was really easygoing, but he was moody.
Right.
He was moody. He was depressed a lot. That was, one of the things. And when you're depressed, you're really kind of quiet. So he wasn't really, he was more into having fun than not having fun.
Well, what do you think the depression was? Just
well, first it was not making it.
Right.
And then, and as you know, he thought he was getting older. He was just in his 20s. He thought he was getting too old to be a rock star.
Yeah.
And then once he made it, I think it might have been a little bit depressing that he
Jerry
didn't
Nolan,
realize.
his good friend, was kind of moving up a little bit quicker than he was, maybe.
Oh, that was with Jerry Nolan, yeah. Yeah, but Jerry was in the Dolls.
Yeah.
He was depressed with that too, but I think the whole fame thing wasn't as cracked up as it is as he thought it was going to be. I mean, it's not as much as once you get there, there's a lot.
It's a lot of work.
There.
Yeah,
you got to stay there, and that's the part that's the hardest.
It's the music business.
Yeah, it really is. It's not a game.
Right.
It's not easy to get to do it. It's a lot of work to be a musician.
And when you get there, it's hard to stay there
too. Well, you got to keep working.
Exactly.
And that's the thing that used to depress him, is he didn't have enough time to kind of just relax.
Right. And I remember in a lot of interviews where he would say, he was really wanting to be noticed. He was wanting to be a star. And with the makeup and the anonymity, it was like he would go places and say, look, this is me. And they wouldn't believe him. He'd get frustrated. Yeah,
I have a story in the book about that. We went to Madison Square Garden, believe it or not, and he had already played the Garden.
Right.
And they didn't know it was him.
Oh, God.
Yeah. We went to see Fleetwood Mac, and we were backstage, and they didn't even know it was him.
Oh, geez. Well, I guess at times that was good, and then at times it was frustrating.
Yeah, it was good, and yet it was, I mean, I tell everybody, I mean, I've been married twice, and I met more people with my second husband.
Right.
More stars, I should say. More rock stars with my second husband than I did with my first.
Right.
And my second husband was only a sound engineer. I mean, he was good friends with Ian Hunter.
Uh-huh.
But he wasn't a musician.
Right.
So, but I met a lot more people because of Ian Hunter's a lot, he was always with Ian. He was Ian's best friend, and Ian would always want him to come to the shows with us, and we wind up meeting so many more people.
Well, a band is only as good as their sound man. They can make you or break you.